Every photographer has dreams and projects they put off because of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, or even just not knowing where to start. So today we're going to fix this, and I'm going to give you some practical, no-nonsense solutions that you can use right now to move forward with your next photography venture. Hi, I'm Adam and welcome back to First Man Photography. And before we get going today, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. So if you need a domain name, a website, or an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Right, at the base of all of this today is the concept of just putting yourself out there, publishing your work. The problem is that the world is full of dum-dums, people that will look at your work, look at you, and put you down just to make themselves feel better. The fact is, these dum-dums exist, they always will, so they just need to be ignored. A much better way of thinking about it when you publish your work into the world is to think about the rule of one. It's a very simple rule, is that when you put a piece of work out there, one person is going to like it and one person is not. That is a guarantee. But then that scales up. So the more popular you get, the more people you'll probably annoy. It is a sign of success. It's inevitable. You can't please everybody, so don't even try. I decided a very long time ago, I was just going to put everything out. Just let the world decide. Let the market decide what's good and what is bad. You can't control it, so create the thing you want to create and then just put it out there and let it be. Let it breathe, let it have a life of its own, and let it become a thing beyond your control. Right, next up that I get asked about a lot is how to make money with photography. Apply the rule of one here. What you're aiming to do is make your first penny with your photography, because you're keeping your expectations low then and you're just making some money. You're providing some sort of value to people. It's really important not to undervalue yourself, but the second you make that first penny, it's going to feel good. And it will then give you the confidence to start doing more. And the key to all of this, again, is just to put your work out there, put yourself out there and make things, build things, produce things that people are going to want to buy. And that's not easy. That's the whole point of being an entrepreneur. You're trying to create value out of nothing, essentially, just using your energy to create that value. That might be prints. I talk about this every week on the sponsored section. Prints, books, calendars, workshops. These are all things that you can do. It requires a little bit of hard work. If you want to do workshops, for example, you want to make sure you get your terms and conditions correct. But if you have a little bit of local knowledge in a certain place that lots of people want to come to, why not run a little tour or workshop if you want to make a bit of money on the side? There's loads of opportunities there. One successful businessman before I started my business said to me, if you want it, it is out there. And that's true just as much today as it was back when I started. There's no doubt that the value of photography is sort of going down over time, but the value of other things, the human element, the human story, the human travel, the human experience, there's still lots of areas there where you can create value for someone. Make your first penny and just let it roll. Let that penny roll and see where it lands if that's something you want to do. An example of where you can make money, but it's not necessary, I think it's something everyone should do anyway, is to finally do your first print. I get so many comments about printing. And almost always, the thing that people are worried about and the blockage for people is the cost. The truth is, if you start printing a lot, then owning your own printer becomes economically sound. I get loads of questions about the Canon printers. And do they waste ink? Do they use up this? Can you leave them for this amount of time? The ideas that are out there are mostly wrong. Canon printers do use a little bit of ink to make sure the nozzles are clean and that they keep on working. But it's nowhere near as bad as people think. You can leave it for months without using it, turn it on and it'll start working again. Yeah, it does waste a little bit of ink, but it's if you put a value, a monetary value on that price of ink, it's not going to be much. For every 10 to 15 prints you make, where you're spending about £4, £5 on the paper and ink, you might lose £2.50's worth of ink every 10 prints, say. It's not a big deal. It's just a little, I suppose it's like a Canon ink tax on top of your prints, but that ensures that these machines work perfectly for a long, long time. Just do printing. I promise you. Stop putting it off. Give it a try, and you'll be hooked. Hooked, I tell you. Next up is to publish your first book or zine. I talked about doing this on last week's video as a good project, and I went and then bought Mally Davis's zine live on that video. That should be getting delivered today, which is quite exciting. It's something that people get really nervous about. I get a lot of people telling me that that's something they're going to do, and they just keep putting it off. There are certain things we need to think about. Firstly is the software that you're going to use to put your book together. There's loads of bits of software you can do for this. I just used the standard Apple Pages to make Illumination. Then it got transferred into one of the Adobe applications. And then I'll probably make my next book in something different because I'm using different software these days. That's not a big deal. There's loads of sort of book templates that you can just work towards and start doing it. So once you've got it in the software, it's there. You put your pictures in, you put your writing in, and the book is then a digital book, essentially. And if you want to, you can then just export that as a digital ebook and sell it that way. But I'd encourage you to print it. And the next thing is to then find a good printer. I've used XYZ in the UK. They're brilliant, really helpful, super supportive, have different printing methods depending on how many books you order and the quality you want as well. Great. Recommend them fully if you're in the UK. You then want to get a proof made if you can, so you can see that your colours and your pictures and everything looks correct before you commit your production budget to that. The next thing is to have a production budget. You may have the money put aside, which is fine, but another way you can do it, and this is the way I use, is to put your book out for pre-order just before you're ready to have it printed. So you can get a sense of how many people are interested in it, because your biggest fans will pre-order it, and it gives you an idea of how many to order. With Illumination, I think I ordered 3 times the number of books that were pre-ordered. I actually think that's too much. I was selling them for ages after I'd released the book, which got a bit annoying. So this time for the next one, I'll probably do double. So say if you get 100 pre-orders, I'll then order 300 in total. So double it and then order that. I might cut that down even more just to have a quick run of books. I'm not sure, but that's the sort of area that I'm operating in for that. So once you get your books made, you get them sent to you. You need somewhere to store them. That's worth thinking about. But yet then you want to ship them. I think the best way to ship a book, a photography book in this case, is to use one of these. These are the kind of folding book things. They just kind of fold down a bit like that, and then the book goes inside. It protects it really well, and I didn't have any issues with getting these books delivered in a really good order. Yeah, just that's a great way of doing it. I buy them from Davpack in the UK, and then I ship my books just with Royal Mail. They ship all around the world, and you can use their click and drop service online to make your own labels. And that ties in with website providers like Squarespace, all your other website providers. They have APIs that just they put the orders into there immediately with the right address on. You click pay, it prints all the labels off for you, and you stick them onto the box. It's a great way of doing it, super easy, and that's saved me loads and loads of time without paying excessive fees that some of the other couriers try to charge when you're doing books in small batches. Also, if you're shipping internationally, books in most countries are duty-free. So just write book. Don't write photography book. Don't write anything else. Just write book, and it will go to most countries duty-free. So next thing you're going to need is somewhere to publish your work, somewhere to share your work, and somewhere to sell your products. Now, people think about doing this on social media. I think that is an awful experience these days. And as you know, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. And in my opinion, Squarespace is just the best place for photographers to build their own website. And the main reason is that it's just so easy to do and you end up with a beautiful looking website. They have different tools that will help you build your website. You can use one of their beautiful templates to get you going. Or now they even have AI tools. They call it design intelligence that you can use to build your website with custom templates, copy and written part of your website. They'll help you do that. Brilliant tool, makes it super, super easy. Squarespace grows with you as well. You can start with a simple gallery where your images will be presented exactly how you want, big, bold, and beautiful on the screen. So much better than social media. As you grow, it will grow with you as well. So you can turn your site into an online store to start selling the things we've been talking about. And on last week's video, I went to Mally Davis's website, which is a Squarespace website, and I bought the book live on that video. And as you saw, that was a seamless, easy way to buy things. There was no friction. It was a very pleasurable experience. I then got an email from him that's automated through Squarespace with my order information, and then I got my dispatch email the other day, and I'm getting updates all the way through. It's a really good experience. I've enjoyed being a customer of someone running a Squarespace website very, very much. I've been using them for years. I just wish I'd found them sooner, and I think you should give them a try to build your own website. So go to squarespace.com or hit the link down below, and then if you like what you've built, use the offer code FIRSTMAN. That's right. Tell them I sent you there, and then you get a new website. I get the credit for sending you there, and Squarespace gets a new customer. It's win-win, and it's a beautiful thing. Right, next one is something that I've been struggling with recently, and that is facing up to a creative rut or a sense of burnout. This is something that I really struggle with, and I continue to struggle with it. And my really only advice is to try and keep your process simple and repeatable if you can, if you want to be putting stuff out all the time. So, for example, with your photography, have your bag packed and ready. So the friction between you deciding you want to do some photography and getting out the door is minimal. What I try to do is think about the future me and help that guy out. Because if you don't do anything now, that future version of you could be lazy and could make the wrong decision. Do yourself a favor in the future. And when you look back, you'll think, oh yeah, that guy did me a right favor there. That includes taking a break, going for a walk. Because when you go for a walk, you get all that extra oxygen into your body, but it also goes into your brain and ideas start to come. Take a break from what you're doing. Take a break from that sort of constant need to create, and good things will happen. Do some exercise, go to the gym, go out with friends, do something to break the cycle. Another thing the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, can stop you doing is entering a photography competition. I'm pretty cynical about them. You pay to enter, you then give your work to them with a chance of winning, and then they get to use your picture in all of their material, including a book that they then sell for money for them. And I don't think winning them actually does that much for the actual photographer. I think it's more about the company creating a thing. Having said that, I have entered one before and I have won a fairly prestigious one before. It's not as satisfying as you think, but it is nice. If you're thinking about entering a photography competition, just do it. Just try it. See if you like it, but keep your expectations low. And also just be careful about how much the entry fees are as well, because if they're too expensive, I wouldn't bother. But just have realistic expectations, especially about the outcome. Because every man and their dog these days is an award-winning photographer. I don't think it's the thing that separates anyone. It's not a unique selling point, I don't think, in any way, shape, or form. What I did find, though, is that people in the real world, away from internet land, do seem to still value it. I got in the newspaper, I got interviewed and stuff like that, and people that were all very impressed, whereas I not really that fussed. I think sometimes what stops people putting their work out into the world is that kind of desire to create the perfect thing. And the truth is that perfection doesn't exist. Perfection is the enemy of good, and good is good. I've been doing this quite recently, particularly with this YouTube channel. I've gone from using a £5,000 camera down to a £500 camera, and it doesn't look that different. It isn't really making any difference to my channel whatsoever, reducing that production value. I hope as the viewer, you're feeling like this is authentic content. That's what I'm trying to do. That's much more important than big production. We see it in the movies as well. Movies that have massive production, loads of CGI, and then a terrible, terrible story. And that makes it a terrible movie. Focus on the story. Focus on the things that you can control, and don't aim for perfectionism, because we've got to also then remember the rule of one. Whatever you put out into the world, one person's going to like it and one person's going to not like it. And that's going to scale up whether you think it's perfect or not. So perfection is the enemy of good. Get rid of it and put your work out into the world. Should you start a photography YouTube channel today? I can't answer that for you, but there is still an opportunity there on YouTube, even in the photography space. Maybe don't expect to make a load of money, but I've started a new YouTube channel recently with a friend talking about something completely different to photography, and it's been an absolute blast. I've loved every second of it, and we're hardly getting any views. We get like 40 views, 50 views, and it's just fantastic. That feeling of starting from scratch is something that I cling on to. I love it. It's an ego check, and yeah, starting a YouTube channel it holds a mirror up to who you are and what you want from the world. It's also just a lot of fun when you first get going. And even though I've been doing it for years on this channel, starting it again on my new channel, oh, fantastic. I've loved every second of it. Collaborating with other artists. I think photographers have a inclination to be quite introverted, but there's loads to gain from hanging out with other photographers, working with other photographers, collaborating either socially or professionally. We need each other. We need to talk about photography. We need to support this beautiful thing that we all love, and we need to get inspired. If you are reaching out to somebody, though, when you are considering a collaboration, the advice differs on this one. A lot of people say, tell them what value you're going to provide them. But I think more importantly is to try and learn a little bit about who that person is. If you're going to email me, for example, to want to spend time with me, the thing I'm looking for is very simple. I'm looking for connection with interesting people that I can do stuff with. Whether that turns into a business opportunity or not, I honestly don't care. That's not why I'm answering you. I want to get to know you. I want to spend time with you. I'm there for the human connection. You've also got to reach out to people without expectation. You don't know what their life is like. You don't know what position they're in. You don't know how much time they have available. If it's anything like me, it's not a lot. Be patient. You're not entitled to a reply from somebody. Yeah, it's a tough one, that. But just reach out. Just do it. Don't expect too much. And sometimes you'll get a hit and you'll have a great time. You'll get to know someone. You'll make a new friend. Right. Last but not least is hosting your own exhibition or hosting an exhibition with somebody. I'm putting this on the list because I have been guilty of putting this off for many years. It's something I've wanted to do for many years. It's something I've talked about doing for many years, and I've never done it. So, if you are a good photographer and you would like to do an exhibition, I'd be up for doing something together. Get in touch, because I'm up for a collaboration on doing an exhibition, even creating a certain amount of work to then do an exhibition. I think that'd be cool. Right, I think I've waffled on for long enough there, so put a comment down below and let me know what you've been putting off. And yeah, I think that's a good thing to share. If you want to watch me going out and about into the landscape, click there. If you want to watch some videos about printing, click on the link up there. And I'll see you on another one very, very soon. Bye.